Hello, everybody. Welcome to my women's basketball rantings. This is where I give my thoughts about the happenings in the women's game. If you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below. If you're still listening, welcome. If you're not, welcome. Let's get started. I'm back. It's been a while. I was having exams, I traveled, and I really didn't have time to record. But I have been following the games, been following the drama. Before this season starts again, just wanted to come and touch base and talk about everything that's been going on, give my rants, give my thoughts. I needed to get quite a number of things off my chest. Today, we're going to be talking about things that have been going on in the W this season. Then I'm going to give a brief breakdown of all the teams and my thoughts about them and a little bit of rantings here and there. And then we talk about the All Star weekend that just was, plus the selections. And we give our final predictions as we always do. So let's get started. All right, so this WNBA has been crazy. Honestly, this season has actually been very weird. Like, I don't know, it's just this, apart from the Brittany Griner situation, which breaks my heart every single day. And every day I keep hoping that there will be some good news. Every day I keep hoping. And I know one day we'll just wake up and just see that Brittany Griner has been released. I just can't wait for that day. And I know it's going to happen sooner rather than later. Apart from that, it's just been very weird around the W. Everything is just been a bit up and down. You really can't tell the direction that it's going to go. Very unpredictable, which is actually not a bad thing. Like Lynx, the worst team in the league, beating the Sky and beating the Aces back to back. I did not see that coming. Then there was the Chelsea situation with the Storm, and then there were Mercury and whatever it is that is going on there. And then the AC started hot, and they've lost 7, and they lost like 5 games in like quick succession. It was really, really weird. Honestly, I have no idea who's going to win the championship. I'll also talk about some of the news that happened throughout the season to this point. So the first one, and I'm going to dive into it, is my girl Sue Bird is retiring. Everybody knows what Sue Bird means to me. I feel like crying. I feel excited for her. I really don't know what to do next. I feel like I don't know how to express the emotion I feel about Sue Bird retiring. I'm very happy she's retiring on her own terms. I really, really wish her the best. I know she would definitely kill it wherever she is. Like I always say, I wish I started watching her earlier because she's just everything that I expect from a sports person. She's humble. She's very good at her game. She's funny. She's friendly. She's just everything. Honestly, Sue Bird, I love you. We love you and we wish you the best, and we're sad you're retiring, but of course everything good comes to an end. And love from me. We are going to talk about the Mercury and whatever it is that is going on there. I don't know what's going on there, but if I could hazard a guess, it all starts from the stupid decision to hire a new coach just coming off of a finals appearance. Who does that? Like those GMs, I don't know what they do. You know what? Diana Taurasi said this thing on a Touch More. If everybody watched that episode with Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe, where Diana Taurasi said that when a team is doing really well, the GM job is at stake because it's like, why do we need you? The team is doing really well. So the GM now decides to just throw like a spanner in the teams just so that he's relevant. And I think that's exactly what happened right now. The Phoenix were doing well. I mean, were they great? No, but they were doing well. Sandra Brondello, I mean, she knew how to bring out the best in those players. Even if they added Tina Charles without even Brittany Griner, things would have happened under Sandra Brondello. I'm not a big fan of Sandra Brondello, but I know she knew how to handle her players. And all of a sudden, she just woke up one morning and said, you know what, Sandra Brondello out. We're bringing a new coach. You didn't even bring a coach that's like, oh, okay, if you had brought like one of those veteran coaches that have been in the business for a while, let's say, what's this guy, lady, Pokey Chapman, I heard she's been around for a while, and Walters, those are coaches. which that one, Teresa Witherspoon. Like, these are people that have coached other places, and now they are like really, really, really settled, and they are looking for like their own team. Those type of coaches, and with strong personalities and things like that. And next thing you know, we just brought Vanessa Nygaard. I have no idea who she is. I don't know who she is. I have nothing against her. But what the hell? What the hell? I heard she's coached high school, and she's been an assistant coach for like 1 year. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And then she brought her to coach Mercury. Mercury is like one of the like oldest teams in the league when it comes to veteran presence. And then half of them can even coach her. They can coach her. Anyway, the whole thing was just weird. She clearly can't handle her team. The team just plays anyhow, in my opinion. They are 10-14. Obviously, not bad when you look at it. But 14, that's a lot. Like, that is a lot of losses for a Mercury team. But then if you look at Chicago, you say, Chicago was 16-16 when they made the playoffs. They are 10-14. You add 2 more losses and they are on 16. You add 4 more losses, which they probably will get, and they're out, completely out of the playoff race. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. And then let's not even talk about the Tina Chelsea situation. Personally, I'm happy Tina Chelsea left because she went to Seattle, and I've always wanted Tina Chelsea to be in Seattle. My dream came true. Like, my things never happen like in my favor when it comes to this. Like, the team I want to win always loses. The team I want to lose wins. And when it comes to sports, like, sports is always against me. Like, they're against me. I don't know. My team has never like won. The only time my team won was Seattle in 2020, and that was just, of course, Seattle was going to win. That's the only good time. Honestly, any other time my team always loses. So I was very surprised when like Tina Charles just up and left. Like, I was sad that she went to Phoenix in the off season, and then everybody else, Tina Charles has left. Oh my God, where is she going to? And I kind of like, I hope it's the storm. I hope it's the storm. I hope it's the storm. And next thing you knew, it was the storm. Oh, it was the best thing ever. Would that translate into anything? I don't know. But the storm, the way they were going, they needed help, and Tina Charles was perfect for them. And I know she would like get better. I'll talk about all that when I break down teams. But for now, Tina Charles left. Vincent Nygaard, I don't know what happened, but I think when Tina Charles was talking about in a press conference, she was kind of saying that she wants to be coached a certain way. She was like kind of shading the coach. So I'm thinking maybe the coach did not just know what she was doing. Like Jantel Lavender said about Indiana Fever, when she was talking about the difference between the Storm and the Fever, and she said that the Fever really did not understand how to coach basketball players. So I'm kind of getting that vibe, and Tina Charles was like, see, I'm not getting any younger. I can't stay here anymore. I need to go. And she left. Very happy about that. Sarah Dean Smith calling her coach a clown. I really don't understand where that came from. No matter what, I believe you respect people in authority. So calling our coach a clown, I would really like to see how that translates in the locker room. But for her to get to that level, like, she could never have called Sandy Brondello a clown. I don't care what Sandy Brondello did. So for her to get to that level, they really don't respect their coach. That's just all I think. And once you don't respect someone in authority, then you get a 10-14 season, in my opinion. So I'll talk more about Mercury when I get to their turn, but let's talk All Star for a bit. So the All Star came. I enjoyed it. I won't lie. I really did. I actually did. I watched it. Actually, it was more of the hype surrounding it than the game. The games are always just for formality. But I love the red carpet. I love the parties. I think Subred has like 2 parties. I love the vibes. I think Candy Soccer also had parties. It was just fun. Like, it was just like, I like it was more like, culture. It was a cultural movement. WNBA parties, fun. It was just cool. I really enjoyed the vibes around the All Star, and you saw a lot of people let loose. And funny enough, a lot of players came to Chicago, even though they were not All Stars, which I really respected, and they came to play. So let's talk about the rosters for a bit. So the All Star roster was the game was played. Tim Wilson won, which I kind of thought Tim Wilson was going to win because I felt like Kelsey Plum is on Tim Wilson, and that babe has a chip on her shoulder, so she can easily go up at any given time. I thought Arike was going to go off too, so I was like, it's either whoever goes up between Kelsey Plum and Arike. And then we had Sabrina too that had a chip on her shoulder, so I was like, so it could be it could, honestly, I really thought, I knew Timothy was going to win, but it wasn't really about the winning and all. It was just about the play and all that. So the All-Star roster, I felt there's some people that I felt should not be there. I'm sorry. I just felt they were not there yet, and based on their play, and there were other people that I felt should have been there. So let's say people I wanted to remove. Subert, I love you, and I voted for you like every single day, but like, come on, Subert. But hey, she was going to be an all-star, whether we liked it or not. All stars are for stars. So someone like Subert, yeah, I like her as an all-star, but like, nah. Kalia Cooper should not have been an all-star this year. Emma Messman should not have been an all-star this year, and Alyssa Thomas should definitely not have been an all-star this year. So those are the people that I think should go. On Tim Stewart, on Tim Wilson, Ira Atkins should not have been an all-star this year. Derek Ambi should not have been an all-star this year. Natasha Howard, nope. Ryan Howard, no. Brown Jones, no. Yeah, that's about. Coty Vandersloot, maybe. Yeah, I'll just put her there. She's a point guard. I like her. So those are the people that I felt, yeah, it was iffy at best, like for them to be all-stars. So who should have been added in their place? I feel Kelsey Mitchell should have been an all-star. I feel Alicia Gray should have been an all-star this year. I feel Izzy Magabo should have been an all-star this year. I mean, compared to their stats, she had better stats than almost all of them. Probably like all those Derek Ambi and Asha Howard. Apart from the three points, but like Izzy should have been an all-star this year. Diana Taurasi should have been an all-star, not because like a play or anything, but because it's Diana Taurasi. It's like Subert. Come on. Respect the vets. Put them as all-stars. See, three people that should always be all-stars. Candice Parker, Subert, and Diana Taurasi. It's like, it's a rite of passage. You don't have to talk too much about it. I feel those three should always be all-stars. Not all about like it's not all about like, oh, starts and all. Sometimes you just put people there that should be all-stars. And then I think Della Don should have been there also. So those are the people I felt should be all-star. Then some of the people I mentioned, you can just add them as an afterthought after those people I mentioned were there. But either way, the game was good. I like the all-star. I like the vibes. Like Subert's last all-star, I wanted to enjoy it. I just wanted to enjoy Subert's last season. It was just good. I was happy about the whole thing. So that's my thought on all-star. And then Silver Powell dunked. That was nice. It's always nice to see a good dunk. So let's start from the Easter Conference. Let's start from the Sky. The Sky is 16-6. I've watched some of their games. They're actually good. Honestly, the Sky is good. You know, during the offseason, I predicted that the Sky and the Mercury would be the people in the semifinals. Of course, the Mercury, well, that was before Brittany Griner, the change of coach, so I can understand. So Mercury's out. So yeah, the Sky still remains someone that I feel will make it to that semifinals. Then after that semifinals, anything goes, honestly, anything goes. So the Sky, I like them. I like the team that they put together, but sometimes they can drop some funny game, like they dropped to Indiana, they dropped to meet the Lynx. Maybe it was fatigue because it was, of course, towards the end, the All-Star break. So maybe it was fatigue and all that. But they are playing well. I like their rotations. I like the way they play. I still think that they can be beaten. I don't think they are like great. Like they are good. They are really, really good. But I do feel like any team with like fire on any given night should be able to beat them. And even in a playoff run, if a team comes with like this, like, it's all about mentality, honestly. Like Subert says, the hungrier team wins. So if a team comes hungry, the Sky can go down, I believe. Like, they are not foolproof. There are some teams that were like, oh, this team is foolproof. The Sky is not. But they are good, and I definitely have, I give them like a 60% chance of making it to the finals. But I like them. I like Rebecca Gardner. She's a really new development. She's really good from the bench. They have a very good bench. I think that's one of their strengths. They have a very good bench. So when their starters are not playing that well, they have their bench to take care of them. Like you have Emma Messman, you have Dana Evans, although maybe, but she's a good three-point shooter, so it's always good to have. You have Ali Quigley. I mean, there are some really good players. So I give it to them. Yeah, so the Sky, 16-6 seems about right for them to be there. And of course, they're the best team in the league. So let's go to the Sun. Like I say, I really don't rate. I like the Sun, and I really do want them to win a championship because they've never won a championship, and I feel they've always been there, and they just never won. Like, it's about time win already, so we can relax and move on. So that's really why I want them to win. But as a team, this year, I don't know. I'm just not feeling their vibe. Like last year, I was feeling their vibe, but this year it's like they're not just. They're playing well, but they're just not like coercive, like the sky, the sky coercive. You already know what this person is going to do, but this guy like just dumped a bunch of starting fives together and hope for the best. Honestly, their strategy is where are they a 3-point shooting team? Are they a defensive team? Who are they? Asa Thomas is good, but she doesn't really score. So she's just there doing like all dirty work, like Gabby Williams kind of situation. Then Jocko Jones is not performing as expected. Then the one Bombona sometimes disappears. I mean, it's just a weird team. And then Jasmine Thomas, Apollo ACL, very sad. I hate when injuries happen. It's so sad. But then you have Natia Eiderman, she's not as good. I don't know. I don't think this is the year, son. I like you guys, but I really don't think you have what it takes this year. But then anything can happen. But from what I can see, I see them flittering in a series. I really, really do. But they do, if there's any team that has like grit, like come from behind kind of grit, like we will not lose this game, it's the Sun. So if on a night and they're like, oh, you know what, we are going to be hungry, we're going to kill it, you have some people that can come up with like some really, really clutch plays on stretch. So I'll give it to the Sun when it comes to like come from behind, win this game kind of, because they've done it quite a number of times this season. So that could translate very well in the playoffs. Do I put them in the finals? Maybe. Mystics, they've been up and down. Like sometimes they win, they lose to stupid teams, like teams that they're not supposed to lose to. I think they lost to Dallas at some point. Of course, they lost to the Lynx. They just lose to some funny teams that, like, I think they even lost to the Dream at one point. Of course, the last game they won, but like they are 14-10. Ella Janadon is dead. They play well sometimes. They don't play well sometimes. They haven't gotten their groove this season. And I think part of it is because of Elena Deladon up and down in the starting lineup. There are some good pieces, but it hasn't all come together. They have... Shaka Rosen is really good, but she's a rookie. I wouldn't put too much hope on her. Alicia Clark is good, but like she's not like great right now. Then there are some funny pieces like Ariel Aitken. They're good, but like the body of work, the overall body of work, it's still I don't know. I'm not convinced. So they're above 500, which is good. Probability of making the finals, no, I don't think they will. A really good team is going to beat them. The Dream, I love the Dream this year. I like Tanisha Wright. I really like her. She's like young, she's fun, she's hip. As a coach, I just like her vibe. And she doesn't talk too much. Like you can see her work. I like when people can see someone's work instead of talking about it. That's why I like Sue Bird. I like Brenna Stewart. Like you can see them. Like they don't need to talk too much. You can see what they do. And the Dream has been like for a team that is supposed to be rebuilding in quotes, they've been killing it, like, well, as far as like killing it can go. I mean, they've been beating some really good teams. They are a really good shooting team for some reason. But Howard is like really, really playing well. I mean, they are where they are supposed to be. I like their vibes. Can they upset in a playoff series? Probably not. I don't think so. I think it is easy to figure them out. Even though they lost to they won against the Seattle, but Seattle wasn't themselves that day. Even they have to admit, they were just Seattle was all over the place that day. And then you lose to this team sometimes. So the Dream is good. Like if they catch you on a bad night, they'll definitely take advantage of you. But if you're on, like if a sky, a sun, a storm, if they're on, it's going to be hard for the Dream to win. But if you're not, they can easily take advantage of you. And I like that about them. It's definitely better than the Fever. For a rebuilding team, I'm impressed. I like what they are doing. The Dream is doing better than the Liberty, even with all the talent the Liberty has. So Liberty 9-13, they started the season rough. rough, like the definition of rough. It was crazy. I think they lost like 35 games in a row. They just couldn't get themselves. And those games wasn't like they lost like, oh, like maybe a buzzer beater 3-point game. They were blown out. Seattle massacred them without Subert and Easy. So it was really weird. And so they were blown out, or they would just make some stupid mistakes down the stretch and lose. But they've been doing really, really well lately. But then they lost to the Mercury. So I'm like, seriously, are you guys like, what's going on here? I thought you guys were going to like build momentum. Mercury is not that great. Why losing to the Mercury? So the Liberty is good. Sabrina is the only person really carrying the team right now. Like if Sabrina goes off, the team is probably at a very, very good chance of success. If Sabrina doesn't, then we have a problem. I like teams that are balanced. Like, okay, if Sabrina decides, let's do 12 tonight, let's do 13, they have other people that can pick up the slack. The Liberty at this point does not really have people that can pick up the slack. They have people like Natasha Howard, but I mean, she can only do so much. Then Sam Whitcomb has been like completely like dead this season. I don't know what's going on. Michaela Onyerere, nothing to show. So the only time they started doing really, really better was when they brought Marina Uranes into the lineup. And you could see that immediately they brought her in, they started doing better because she's a really good shooter. But she's a shooter. Like, she can't really do much. She just needs something. And I mean, they look good on paper, but for some reason, they're just not like doing what they are supposed to be doing. But I give it to them, they killed the Aces. But I always blame these things on like fatigue, like the summer and the dream. Sometimes you just don't have it. Some nights you really don't have it, and you just have to let one go. I can understand that. I respect that. So I wouldn't really judge the Aces by what happened with the Liberty, but I feel the Liberty, they are doing better. So yeah, they are getting better. They have the pieces that they need. I think they're jiving, they're better. Brondello she can Brondello sometimes. Like I always say, sometimes she can just let it go and be like, whatever. But sometimes if she really wants to get it together, she can. And I think they're getting together right now. Will I put them in the playoffs? They are one of those teams that like they might make it. I think they'll make it because they're on 400. If they win, like, I mean, they could easily win some really good games. I think see them winning over the Wings. Let me see their schedule. They have Aces. It's back to back. Oh, that's not good. Sun, no. Mystics, Sky. Oh my God. Their schedule is terrible. Terrible. It's gonna be tough. Let's see how it goes. Fever. Well, Fever is Fever. Like the energy is not even there to talk about them. I thought they were doing well at the beginning of the season. They were winning some games. I think they even won over Chicago at some point. They were winning some games. They have their rookies. They don't play them the way they are supposed to be playing them. I feel Destiny Anderson should start. I'm sorry. I just feel she should start. Like as a point guard, I feel this is the best time to train her as a point guard. And I believe she has a very strong future in this league. She's really fast. She makes good decisions. She just needs a mentor. I really think Seattle should have taken her. I can imagine her under a mentor like Subert. She needs to mentor under a really good point guard because Dana Robinson is not a really good point guard, honestly. So I think she needs to mentor under a good point guard. And they're not even playing her. And then we have Nigel Smith that goes off some nights, doesn't go off some nights. The Fever is exactly where we expected them to be. I expected them to have a few more wins, maybe like 10, maybe like, because, sometimes, they are very hungry. I really don't have much to say about them. It's kind of regressed. They've regressed to the team they were last year, which was very boring. And nobody wants to lose to them because for you to lose to the Fever, you must really, really be bad. So, yeah. I really don't have anything to say about them. They are definitely not making the playoffs. And I'm just afraid that next year it will still be the same thing because I don't see any serious improvement. The roster has changed, but the vibes around them has not changed. Yeah, I think Fever will benefit from a rebranding. Like change your city, change your name. I don't know. I just feel that the vibes around them are still the same. It was getting better because of the rookies, but the excitement has since worn off. It's still the same old. I think remove Kelsey Mitchell from the Fever. I mean, she's good, but like, it's like, I don't know, just something about her and the fever. She's just been there for so long. Remove Tiffany, remove everybody that was there before, like everybody, and leave the rookies, honestly, and then change your name. I think that's what the fever needs right now. Yeah, that's it from them. So the best team in the Eastern Conference, definitely the Sky and the Sun. I see those two making it to the finals. All right, let's go to the Western Conference, which is the best conference in the whole league. Let's move to the Aces. So the Aces, they started scorching. They were hot. I think they were like 10-2 at some point. It was that crazy. Like everybody was automatic. You play the Aces are going to win. You play the Aces are going to win. Even me, I was like, okay, can anybody stop the Aces? Then Chicago happened. 28-point deficit. 28. It was crazy. It was crazy. I did not expect it to happen. I could not believe my eyes. But it happened. They just did not have the legs. They did not have the shooting. Just people have figured them out. I think that was the problem. So they started out with their starting five. So everybody already knows what to expect. You already know what to expect from Plum. You know how to defend her. Aja Wilson, you know how to defend her. It's five. Like they have nothing else to throw at you. So after a while, you throw things at them and they can't figure it out. So Chicago has a very good bench. So if you throw a very good bench player at any of those starting fives, they're already tired. So after the old running, they're already tired. So it's really nothing that you can easily like take one out of them. And next thing you know, they just started on a skid, a free-falling skid of losses. They lost to the Storm, which was fantastic. I always like it when the Aces lose to the Storm. They lost to the Lynx. The Lynx. I repeat, the Lynx. They lost to the Liberty, a massive blowout. They were just losing games, like all games that they were supposed to win. They lost to like two below like 500 teams back to back. So that is concerning to everybody involved. But they still have a good like starting five. But I think I think Chelsea Gray gets tired fast. Like she can start hot, but at the end of the games, she just gets tired, and there's really nothing that they can do. So if you can manage and minutes, that would be really, really good. But I still have hope for the Aces. I still believe they'll be in the finals, semi-finals, sorry, not finals. Like I said, that the finals is anybody's game, but semi-finals, I still believe they'll be in it because they'll get it together. Kelsey Plum can get out when she wants to get out. They have Jackie Young can get out when she wants to get out. You know, they just need to gel and really, really play well. And then I'll see how they show up in the Commissioner's Cup with the Sky. I'll see how they show up and let's see how that works out. Whoever wins that Commissioner Cup game, it's not just about winning, but it's about how they win, like how they play. Then we'll get a clearer picture of how the finals looks like. But for now, yeah, I'm happy that they've come back down to air because they were just too hard. So let's talk Storm, my favorite team. Everybody knows that. The Storm were very stormy at the beginning of the day, like lost a lot of funny games. They lost to the Aces, they lost back-to-back to the Mercury. Then they were like winning, losing. Lately, they've been like really, really good. Honestly, they've been good. But the way they play, I know the Storm is just a weird team. They've been good. Like the only game that I know they dropped would be the one to the Sun and the one to the not the Dream. No, not the Sun. Yeah, the Sun game. Yeah, that was weird. I think I spoke about that. Yeah, that was a weird game because they came from the Sun came from the back to win, and the Sun were tired. So I like Seattle had no reason losing this game, but then they were still trying to figure themselves out. So I can understand that. Towards the end of the season, I think they were getting better. Then they lost to the Dream. So I was really trying to understand what was going on there. They lost to the Sparks. Yeah, I felt that was weird. They had no business losing to the Sparks. So this Storm sometimes they win games that they should be winning. No, they win games they have no business winning, like against the Aces, which were still hot at that time. I think this was the beginning of their downfall. Against the Aces, who were still hot at that time. They won against the Mystics, who were still hot at that time. And then they lost to the Sparks, who were like barely playing well. I had no business. I mean, Ketulu owned them. It was ridiculous. It was just a ridiculous game. They had no business using that game. Then they lost to the Dream. They got blown out. I don't care. It was a blowout by the Dream, which was crazy because they had no business using that game. And then they won their two games. So the Storm, they're weird. And they'll be like, oh, the shots were not falling. They depend too much on fate, in my opinion. So sometimes they'll play well and they'll take some shots and the shots will fall. And some nights, like the same looks, and the shots will just not fall and they'll lose the game. So it's like, you just kind of flip a coin, like the universe flips a coin and be like, okay, today your shots are going to fall, tomorrow your shots are going to fall. Because they play the same way, in my opinion, but sometimes they just don't make their shots, which is basketball. Like, it's a game of chance. But I was like, how do you ensure that you make your shots all the time? Do you put yourself in a certain position? Do you play in a certain pace? I don't know. How do you make sure that you make your shots? I don't know. They need to figure it out, because sometimes they just don't make their shots and they lose like 3 points. Like, while sometimes they just keep playing, like against LA Sparks, like the last game against LA Sparks, everything was going down. Everything was going down. Well, the game against the Dream, nothing was going down. So, and it's the same looks. They play the same way every single time. Joe Lloyd shoots at threes. Same threes. Same way she shoots at threes. Bird shoots at threes too. So I don't know. I just find it funny about them. And then with the addition of Tina Charles, I'll give Tina Charles some grace. Some people just expected her to come in immediately and start making a difference. How does that work? It doesn't work like that. You need time. Even all those Easy and all those people, they took time before they integrated into the team, before they started producing, like Gabby Williams, John Lavender, things like that. Oh, I still think they have a good roster. Is it great? We are with Tina Charles. It's getting there. John Lavender has been a very big disappointment. I thought she would play with more fire and more like, grit, all those type of things. I don't think she's playing with more grit. I think she's looking at the Storm as a retirement home. She needs to play better. She just needs to play better. Especially from that bench. She needs to run faster. She needs to shoot better. She needs to take her shots better. I don't know. I just feel she's the key. Okay, now that Tina Charles is here, nobody cares about her anymore. But before, I used to think she was like the key because she has some skill set that I thought would be useful on the bench. But now that Tina Charles is here, let's just put all our hopes on Tina Charles and hope that Tina Charles really, really becomes the person we know she can be and really takes us to the next level. I believe she can. And I think we saw proof against the Sparks the other day. She put up 18 points from the bench. That was impressive. So I believe Tina Charles is the key to the Storm. And then, of course, Joe Lloyd has to shoot better. But I was very impressed at the All Star game. She did 7 threes, so that was impressive. Joe Lloyd she can light it up, but she's also the key. I've noticed that if Joe Lloyd doesn't play well, Seattle loses. Like, Brianna Steele doesn't even have to play well for some reason. If Brianna Steele doesn't play well, Seattle doesn't necessarily lose. I don't know, maybe because of her presence on the court. Like, I don't know, there's something about her that even if she doesn't play well, like if Brianna Steele gets 9 points, Seattle will still win that game. They might lose, they might win, but most times they don't depend on Brianna Steele's points. Like, they depend on her to just be on the court, just be there, like be on the court, like draw defenders, block shots. Bracelet is just something else. So she doesn't have to score to win. But Joe Lloyd has to score for Seattle to win. Joe Lloyd has to score at least 16 points for Seattle to even have a fighting chance of winning any game. So when Joe Lloyd doesn't bring it, or when she scores 3 points, I think there was a game where she scored 3 points. I think that was the Dream. Yeah, it was quite embarrassing. It was really embarrassing. 3 points. Joe Lloyd, I was like, what the fuck, Joe Lloyd? What the fuck? Mind my language or not. Joe Lloyd needs to bring it for Seattle to win. Like, she needs to bring it. And she should stop taking stupid shots. Like, she's always jacking up threes. I know she's a good 3-point shooter, but like, it's not every time. Like, sometimes you just know you are not going to get it. So stop shooting threes. Sube doesn't necessarily have to like score a lot of points for Seattle to win. She just needs to have a good assist. percentage and really just know how to place it. But Joe Lloyd has to score, play well. So I really think two keys to Seattle making it this season and going to the semifinals. Tina Charles has to play really well and acclimate really fast to the team. And Joel Lloyd has to play really, really well. And of course, Brian Stewart has to be Brian Stewart. Brian Stewart is Brian Stewart. This year, she has every game. I don't think she has, like last season, sometimes she'll bring it, sometimes she won't. But this season, she's always like really, really brought it. So I'm okay with her. Then Gabby Williams just has to score a little bit more. I like Gabby Williams. I think I love everything she's doing for the Storm. She just needs to score a little bit and stop taking threes. She's a terrible three-point shooter. Gabby Williams, please stop taking threes. Unless it's like a blowout and you're trying to test your three-point shot. But like in a crunch time, please stop taking threes. I'm begging you. She and Brian January, terrible three-point shooters. Stop taking threes. Either way, I like the roster. I honestly, before Tina Charles, I was like, there is no way the Storm is making it to the finals. But with Tina Charles' addition, yeah, I believe they will make it to the semifinals. And then when Subed's leaving, I would not mind Subed going out on top. I really would not, even if it's semifinals. I'll be happy with that. And let's see how it goes. I'm excited about the Storm. I wasn't excited before because they were just playing funny, but now I am excited about them. The Sparks are weird. Sometimes they play well, sometimes they don't. They have some good pieces. Liz Cambage has been the greatest disappointment of the season. She's just not playing well, like zero playing well. She just doesn't care. Like I think that's it. She just comes and plays anyhow. It's only Nika that is really carrying that team. Charlie Carter, they refuse to play her, which I find very weird. I don't know why they refuse to play her though. I don't know, maybe locker room troubles. They sacked their coach, so that could be, I don't know, maybe Derek Fisher had some plans for her. And when they decided to fire him, the new coach did not have plans for her, but I think she could feature more in the rotation, but she really doesn't. They have some pieces, but I don't just see them going far. The spark has lost their spark, pun intended. Like they just don't have, well, I don't know, there's something about them that I'm just not feeling as a team. But so far, they've been playing some fun games. They've been winning some games. I think they won a games like the Mercury at some point. You know, they've been trying to get it together. But let's see how it goes, Sha. But right now, I'm really not like sold on the spark. Will they make the playoffs? Debatable. Yeah, and that's just. I mean, when you start thinking whether a team will make the playoffs or not, then you know that the season is just not going well. Yeah, that's because it's the 8 teams make the playoffs. So if people are thinking, will you make the playoffs, will you not make the playoffs, then you should know that something is going wrong in that season. So then let's move on to the Wings. I like the Wings. I don't like their coach. I don't think she's a good coach. I don't think she even coaches. Like I said, I think she just throws all of them together and just play. Whatever happens. And then she has some really young players. They have good legs. They can shoot well. So yeah, so they make a lot of things happen most times. And most times, well, it just doesn't work out their way. I believe they have grit. I think they are one of the teams that I believe will probably stick into the playoffs just on pure grit. Like Arike can come and just start shooting. She hasn't been shooting well this season for some reason. But Arike can just come from anywhere and just start shooting and get it. We have Aisha Gray. She's really good. She's really playing well this season. She should have been an all-star. Isabel Harrison was playing well. Then all of a sudden, she wasn't. They played some really gritty games against Seattle, but they always play gritty games against Seattle. So they're doing well. But it was one of those fringe teams. I like them. I like their fire. They can't function without Satu. So if Satu is not playing, then yeah, the high possibility they probably would lose. So yeah. So if Satu comes back after the All Star, then they have a good chance of sneaking into the playoffs. But like I said, if people are starting to wonder whether you're going to sneak into the playoffs or not, then yeah, probably not a good thing. All right, we move to so you can see that a lot of 400, below 500 teams. There are a lot of them, which is weird. Like, it's so weird. Like, why are there so many below 500 teams? Especially because at the beginning of the season, these teams that are below 500 were teams that we thought were a guaranteed playoff teams. So we have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 teams above 500. That's crazy. Out of a 12-team league. That means they're just not playing well, number one, or there's just a lot of parity. I don't know what to say, honestly. The Mercury, yeah, everybody knows my thoughts about the Mercury. The Mercury are a dumpster fire this season. They probably would not make the playoffs, which is sad because they have some good, like Skylar Diggins is a good player. Diamond Shields, she started out, but so far she hasn't really been playing well. Dana Taurasi has not been playing well. Sometimes she plays well, sometimes she doesn't. She's like one of those Joe Lloyd kind of players. Like if she doesn't play well, there's a high possibility the team will lose. Skylar Diggins is carrying that team, honestly, and I'm tired of Skylar Diggins carrying that team. Like I love Skylar Diggins, but I mean the toll it takes to carry a team like Mercury, it's just every night, and you're losing. You're scoring like 23 points, you're scoring 25, and you're still losing. It takes a toll. I feel for her. Yeah, Mercury, please get it together. You're probably not going to make playoffs anyway, and that would be good. I actually don't want them to make playoffs, so that will put that GM and his stupid decision making, put him on the hot seat so that he can feel the fire. So that next season he would arrange himself and make a good decision. So yes, I want them not to make the playoffs for the first time in a long time because of their stupid decision. Because I know if Sandy Mandela was there, they would have made the playoffs, Brittany Griner or no Brittany Griner. So yeah, so Mercury probably, I don't want them to make playoffs. They probably won't because it's too steep a call for them to go down. And yeah, and they're playing that well when you look at it. Like, of course, they did win against the Sparks. What is the Sparks? Liberty, but then Liberty, I mean, all of them are in the same WhatsApp group. They're crazy. All of them are just bottom barrels right now. So I can understand them winning against that. But I would like to see how they play against like a Storm, Aces, and the Sky. If they win those games, maybe they'll get a fighting chance, but I don't think they'll win those games unless those teams decide not to just show up. But when it comes to talent, I think those teams have better talent. And then, of course, everybody wants to watch the Storm and the Mercury post ncaaw and see what drama that would ensue. Yeah, so mark that on your calendar, July 22nd. It's gonna be brutal. No, July 23rd. Yeah, it's gonna be brutal. See what's going on there. All right, moving on to the Lynx. Yeah, I wasn't expecting much from the Lynx this season. I wasn't expecting them to be 8-15, but I definitely wasn't expecting them to be like a top like 8 team. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs. Number one, they didn't have Nafisa, which Nafisa is a very strong part of their rotation. And then the players, like I always say, players they got during the off season, I wasn't really impressed. They got Angel McCoughtry, who they promptly waived. So they have some funny group of players that they've waived all of them anyway. So now they have a new set. Ariel Powers, okay, she has been showing off, but she reminds me of Benida Laney. She'll show up for like 3 games, and after that she'll disappear again. I feel that's how she is. So she's just hot right now. She'll soon go back. Silver Fowls, yeah, Silver Fowls is always Silver Fowls. Like, she playing. Of course, she was injured, so that's why the Lynx really went on that skid. But she playing doesn't really impact whether they win or lose because she's a staple. Like, she's just there. Like, she's not an X factor. You get, like, she's just a center. They need a center. And if she wasn't there, they'll put another center there. Maybe she'll be better to maybe like give them maybe another 10-point edge, but they still need somebody else. Do you get? I'm still looking for that X factor. Ariel Powers, well, let's see how she goes. She might be the X factor at the end of the day, but I think they've gone too deep. So they have only 3 So, like, I always use Chicago as the benchmark. So, Chicago sneaked into the playoffs to 16-16. They're already at 16. So, if they lose 2 games, they're already at 17. I mean, it's going to be very hard for them to climb out of the hole that they've dug themselves into. And I really feel they should let it go. Like, just let it go. See, Afar, we love you, unfortunately. But just let it go. Let the season go. The Lynx, just let it go. It's fine. You'll be fine next year. So use this season to build and know who you want to keep, know who you don't want to keep. If Nafisa comes back, that would be nice. But she's coming from like a pregnant maternity leave, so she obviously won't be 100%. So use this season to really like acclimate her, make her play and get some minutes so that like next season she'll be like fully fit to play. But I do feel like next season, if they get their shit together, if they do get about number one pick in Boston, or any really good number one pick, if they get some really good players in the off season, I feel they can get their season together. But for this season, they should just let it go. So that's my recap for all the teams in the league. I'll just pick the two top teams in the West and the two top teams in the East. We'll probably battle it out in the semifinals. Enjoy Subot's final season. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.